in the dressing rooms before, when I was warming Brian up, I knew there was something wrong. Things that we'd done for millions of times, you know, combinations of shots, he wasn't getting them off.
For some reason that night I just didn't feel right. I was petrified. I had the shakes, you know, and I mean, I can usually control my nerves, and I mean, I can now especially, but that night there was something wrong.
7 months before suffering a devastating knockout defeat to Maxwell, Brian Rose came face to face with boxing's harsh realities. Victory against Jason Rushton ended in tragedy when Rushton collapsed after the fight with a brain injury, forcing his retirement from the sport. Brian struggled to come to terms with what had happened and almost packed it in.
I was absolutely devastated that I could do that to someone, and as much as I could do that to someone, it could happen to me. I'm not known as a concussive puncher or a big puncher, so for me to be able to do that to someone scared me. It scared me.
Solace came in the form of behavioural therapist Emma James. The person Team Rose credit with turning their fighter's life around. In a sport dominated by machismo, Brian is open about the help he received from therapy.
It made me realise that I had serious problems, and then as we went on, you know, we were doing hourly sessions at a time, but she made me realise that it wasn't my fault. You know, she made me realise that it was boxing and it was just business.
One of the problems in sport is that we train, and on a physical basis, it's all in there, it's all ingrained. The problem that we've got is that we have this bit of brain, which is called the conscious, which suddenly goes, oh, I think you should think about this for a minute. Ah, but what happens if your Auntie May said you'll never make it, he's bigger than you, you'll never do it. So you've got all this in the conscious. So some of the techniques are how to stop all that happening, so that you can literally access your optimum performance and literally let the performance flow, so you can focus, I mean, and really focus.
I've dreamt of winning a British title since I was 9 years old, so for me to win one is amazing.
I was ringside, and he was right over by me, and I could see it in his face, and I could see him completely and utterly focused. And honest to God, I was nearly in tears. Marvellous, absolutely marvellous.
Now he makes the first defence of his title against the man who inflicted the only blemish on his pro record. Rose is Blackpool's first British champion since the 1950s and will have the support of the whole town, with 3,000 fans due to pack into the famous Winter Gardens on March 31st.
I love boxing again. You know, there was a time where I fell out of love with boxing, and this time I'm going to be there mentally, and he's going to get the shock of his life. I really want to put things right, and I'm convinced I'm going to do a proper job and show everyone in Britain that